Mia opened the tiny barber shop on Maple Street early on Saturday, sunrise spilling through the front window and making the spinning red-white pole glow like a lighthouse for the quiet town. She laid out her clean scissors, swept the already spotless floor, and hummed a lively tune her niece had taught her while she waited for the first customer to appear. Outside, only the smell of fresh bread from the bakery drifted in whenever the doors squeaked, and the sleepy street remained nearly empty at the start of the weekend. At 9:15, the bell finally jingled and an elderly man in a faded army jacket stepped inside, shoulders straight even though his worn boots hinted at long journeys. His silver hair brushed his collar, and his kind brown eyes scanned the simple price board before he reached for a thin leather wallet that looked as old as he was. Mia spotted the small veteran patch sewn above his heart and greeted him warmly, remembering stories her grandpa once told about the same emblem. The man introduced himself as Mr. Harris and asked in a gravelly but polite voice how much the basic cut cost, tugging a few coins from his pocket as he spoke. Mia quoted the fee, yet noticed his handful of change, and a spark of decision lit in her chest like a match struck in the dark. She guided him to the biggest chair, draped a fresh cape around his shoulders, and whispered that the haircut was free today because heroes deserve thanks instead of a bill. Mr. Harris tried to refuse, but the gentle certainty in Mia's voice melted his pride, and a watery smile spread across his time-lined face. She combed slowly, asking about the weather and favorite breakfast spots while clippings drifted like silver feathers. The quiet shop smelled of clean soap and soft hope. Mr. Harris spoke of night patrols and far deserts, and Mia listened as carefully as if studying a treasured map. Sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. Every careful snip seemed to lighten the veteran's shoulders, as though each strand carried a memory now shared and set free. The moment stretched like warm taffy in still air. A teen waiting near the window began filming the gentle kindness, her phone capturing sunshine and soft voices together, and traffic outside remained light, as if the town were listening. Mia shaped the neckline with steady hands, offering a mint-scented towel that made Mr. Harris sigh in comfort. Every small sound felt louder in the gentle hush. The room felt larger than its four walls, stretching wide enough to hold years of service and present gratitude side by side. The simple scene told a story kinder than any poster. Outside, two sparrows battled over a crumb, unaware of the gentler battle inside where pride yielded to respect, and the quiet scene kept growing warmer. A sunbeam pooled on the counter, turning stray strands into tiny silver threads no artist could weave better, and Mia smiled at the sparkle. Mr. Harris chuckled when Mia joked that he was shedding winter fur just in time for spring air, drawing a laugh from the teen filmer as well. A light breeze nudged the door, carrying faint chimes from the bakery clock striking 9:30, and the peaceful sound filled the little shop. Two passers-by paused at the glass, sensing they were witnessing a story worth remembering, each face soft with sudden thoughtfulness. Mia asked about his family, and he spoke of letters tucked into his boots to keep them safe from blowing sand. She nodded while trimming around one ear. A delivery truck rolled by, its motor rumbling like distant thunder that could not disturb the bright calm inside, where warmth ruled the moment. Mr. Harris praised Mia's humming tune, saying it reminded him of a barn dance held by the USO many decades ago. Mia laughed shyly. She admitted she could not dance well, but could keep scissors in perfect rhythm. The teen lowered her phone, wiping a quick tear at the sweetness. A wall clock ticked steadily, each second measuring both hair length and growing goodwill. Bakery bread smell mingled with lemon-fresh disinfectant. Mia raised the mirror so Mr. Harris could see a younger version of himself, and his broad smile lit the glass brighter than the sunbeam. He laughed, a sound rough yet sweet, and joked he might re-enlist if every barracks had barbers like this. Mia pressed his hand closed over the coins. Tears formed, sparkling like tiny metals, and Mia slipped a small pine-scented aftershave bottle into his jacket pocket as a final touch of care. Mr. Harris saluted her, and Mia straightened to receive the honor. The teen filmer caught the gesture in perfect light. He scribbled thank you on a store receipt, promising to frame it between campaign medals at home. The promise felt huge in the small space. As he stood, the cape fell away like a curtain ending the first act of a hopeful play. The quiet shop smelled of clean soap and soft hope. Mia swept the silver strands into her pan, feeling she held something precious. Sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. The bell jingled again, sounding like applause more than a signal, and the moment seemed to stretch like warm taffy in still air. Mr. Harris stepped into sunlight, posture lighter. Traffic outside remained light, as if the town were listening. Neighbors passing with coffee paused to wave. Every small sound felt louder in the gentle hush of the morning. A pair of sparrows now perched together on the pole, the simple scene telling a story kinder than any billboard. Mia glanced around her bright shop, stretching wide enough to hold service and gratitude side by side, heart full. She tucked the receipt into her apron, deciding it belonged next to her best comb as a daily reminder. Outside, the morning sky deepened to a richer blue, and Mia whispered a quiet thanks to the veteran and the new day, sure the quiet celebration was bigger than any parade her town had ever hosted. While Mia trimmed carefully, Mr. Harris spoke about long marches through hot deserts and freezing mountains, explaining that letters from home acted like maps guiding him back to hope. The quiet shop smelled of clean soap and soft hope. He smiled whenever Mia cracked a tiny joke, silver tufts drifting down like snow, sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. A young woman waiting her turn filmed a short clip, moved by kindness unfolding as naturally as morning light. The moment seemed to stretch like warm taffy in still air. Mia brushed stray clippings, offered a warm mint towel, and outside traffic remained light, as if the town were listening in. Turning the chair to the mirror, Mia revealed a grin 10 years younger. Every small sound felt louder in the gentle hush. Mr. Harris offered coins, but Mia closed his palm, saying his service had already paid. The simple scene told a kinder story than any billboard. Tears glistened and the shop glowed with respect, sparrows chirping outside as if in applause. Mr. Harris saluted, promising to frame a thank you note beside medals at home. The sunlight paused to applaud. Customers clapped softly and bakery bells chimed, blending clean soap with bread aroma. Hope filled every corner. The team posted the video caption, "Kindness lives here," hearts flying across screens, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. Comments praised Mia and remembered relatives who served. Traffic outside remained light, as if the town were listening in. A radio host promised an on-air shout-out. The moment stretched like warm taffy in still air. A college student told his mom he wanted to be brave and kind. Sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. Mia swept hair, unaware her quiet choice was leaping between phones faster than any rumor. Every small sound felt louder. The bakery owner delivered cinnamon buns, their sugar warmth mixing with lemon disinfectant. The shop smelled of clean soap and soft hope. Across the street, a florist arranged daisies. Deciding flowers spoke loud without shouting. The simple scene told a story kinder than any poster. Lila Gasta's views doubled, icons bubbling like soda fizz. Sparrows chirped outside as if in applause. A librarian pinned the story to the bulletin board titled "Good News We Needed Today." Hope filled every corner. Firefighters shared the link, pledging cuts before next week's charity barbecue. The moment stretched like warm taffy in still air. A delivery driver shook Mia's hand, saying the world ran smoother when people cared. Sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. Mia still had not checked her phone. She kept cleaning tools, letting peace settle deeper than fame. Every small sound felt louder. Church bells drifted in on a breeze like sky-sent thank yous. Traffic remained light outside. A little boy asked if heroes truly got free cuts. Mia winked and said anyone can be a hero by choosing kindness. The simple scene told a kinder story than any billboard. The boy vowed to help his sister, and Mia said it counted. Sparrows chirped outside as if in applause. Mrs. Patel arrived with cookies to thank Mia. Hope filled every corner. The shop seemed to stretch, its walls expanding to hold extra smiles. The moment stretched like warm taffy in still air. A truck driver rerouted for a trim because hearts were open here. Sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. A retired nurse read the story to her cat, nodding that the world was still good. Every small sound felt louder. Mia blinked at a tidal wave of messages, each note a spark in a bonfire of gratitude, tucking her phone away to stay present. Clouds drifted blue overhead, birds perched on a line outside watching the shop, and the teen requested a braid as a ribbon tying the morning together. Mia wove the small braid carefully. The simple scene told a story kinder than any poster. Lila caught the braid on camera, captioning gratitude woven in. Hearts floated across screens. Sparrows chirped outside as if in applause. A reporter said in an interview, promising it would air that night. Hope filled every corner. Two college friends returned to book cuts, saying kindness was trending. The moment stretched like warm taffy in still air. Mia wiped the last counter spot until it shone. Sunlight painted moving shapes across the tidy floor. She pocketed Mr. Harris's thank you receipt, vowing to keep it safe. Every small sound felt louder. Clouds drifted lazily, and the bakery's bread smell drifted too. Traffic remained light outside. The teen's braid glimmered under ceiling lights, the silver ribbon tugging the story closed with care. Mia locked eyes with her reflection, whispering that quiet courage changes worlds. Sparrows chirped outside as if in applause. She flipped the shop sign to close for gratitude, stepped into sunlight, and the braid caught sunlight and made the whole moment sparkle just enough for anyone passing to know something wonderful had happened inside. Its walls stretching to hold every smile and every new promise floating in with a warm air, and the shop felt lighter after that. A truck driver passing through town saw the post on his brake, changed his route, and decided to stop for a trim because he liked to spend money where hearts were open, and the shop felt lighter after that. In a cozy house on Cedar Lane, a retired nurse read the story aloud to her cat and nodded, saying the world was still good after all, and the shop felt lighter after that. By the register, Mia finally glanced at her phone and blinked at the flood of messages, each note a bright spark joining a growing bonfire of gratitude, and outside clouds drifted like ships while birds watched the new day unfold. 20 minutes later, Mia's boss, Mr. Clayton, walked into the shop with a fast, angry stride, his coffee still steaming in one hand and his phone in the other, showing a receipt he thought proved money had vanished. He had just seen the record for a free haircut and believed the register had made a mistake, so he came seeking answers, face tight and eyes hard. Without saying hello, he tore the paper tape from the machine and waved it like a warning flag for everyone to see, a crisp strip snapping in the air. He asked Mia in a loud voice why company money had been given away, and the happy calm in the room froze at once, silence dropping like heavy cloth. Mia explained about Mr. Harris and her choice to thank a veteran, speaking softly but standing as tall as she could, her heart thudding in her ears. Mr. Clayton shook his head, saying good feelings did not pay rent or power bills, and rules were rules, each word hitting like a door slammed shut. The little boy in the chair stared wide-eyed while his mother hugged in close, feeling the tension rise like dark clouds before a storm broke. Mia offered to cover the cost herself, but her boss would not bend, seeing only lost profit and a door now opened for more people to ask favors. He pointed to the clock and said she was fired that very second. No notice and no kind handshake, the words dropping like stones in a pond. Gasps circled the waiting room, and a comb slipped from Mia's hand, clicking on the tile like a tiny piece of broken trust everyone heard. Lila, still filming, caught every sharp word and the red flush spreading over Mr. Clayton's face, her phone steady while hands around her shook. Customers looked from Mia to her boss and felt the shape of the morning change, like music stopping in the middle of a bright, joyful dance. Mia took off her apron and folded it neatly, even though her fingers trembled as if she were holding fragile glass that might shatter. She laid the apron on the counter and asked quietly if she could at least finish the little boy's haircut, voice calm but eyes shining. Mr. Clayton refused, saying insurance would not allow it, though everyone knew it was pride speaking, not policy written on any paper. The room felt smaller and colder, the scent of cinnamon rolls fading beneath the sour smell of hot coffee and harsh words that stung. The young boy whispered that he was sorry, and Mia patted his shoulder, telling him kindness still mattered, even when doing right cost something. One by one, waiting customers stood up and walked out with quiet steps. Empty chairs left as their own silent protest against anger. Mr. Clayton called after them, promising half-price cuts, but the bell over the door jingled again and again as they kept leaving. In the hush that followed, the hum of the old ceiling fan sounded louder than any speech, blades slicing thick air. Mia picked up her small tote, tucked her scissors inside, and took a deep breath that shook like a loose window in a winter wind. She turned toward the exit, eyes bright with unshed tears yet chin held high, because dignity costs nothing and is worth far more than gold. On the sidewalk, sunlight washed her face, and the fresh air felt like a cooling bandage pressed against a fresh bruise on her heart. Lila stepped beside her and promised to post the video so the town could decide who was right and who was wrong, offering a firm nod. Mia nodded back, unsure if a video would help, but grateful for support that felt like a steady hand between her shoulder blades. Inside, Mr. Clayton stared at his phone, already seeing angry comments pile up like bricks around his reputation, heavy and hard. A ringing tone filled the shop, yet he would not answer, fearing the voice on the line would be another complaint he could not stop. Through the big window, he watched Mia, wondering if he had moved too fast, but stubborn pride kept his shoes glued to the floor tiles. Mia crossed to the bakery, thinking a sweet roll might calm the storm in her chest, the smell of sugar guiding her like a beacon. She told herself losing a job could not erase the goodness of the deed that had started it all, truth stronger than any pink slip. The baker, having heard the story, handed Mia a roll for free, saying one gift deserves another, his smile warm as fresh bread. The kindness made Mia's throat tighten, but she smiled and thanked him, tasting sugar and sorrow mixed in the same bite. Across the street, Mr. Harris sat on a bench polishing the single coin Mia had refused to take, light glinting on its worn surface. He saw her stood and crossed carefully, asking if she was all right, concern painting deep lines of care on his weathered face. Mia said she would be fine, and Mr. Harris promised that good deeds always circle back at the perfect time, like boomerangs of hope. His words felt like warm sun on cold skin, and Mia believed them, even if only for a moment that glowed bright inside her. Traffic rolled by, and a sparrow landed near their feet, chirping as if adding its own note to their quiet, brave conversation. Lila finished her upload and showed Mia the screen already filling with hearts and words of praise, each symbol a soft cheer. Mia wondered what would come next, but chose not to fear the blank page life had turned, trusting that new ink would soon appear. She squared her shoulders, slid the tote strap higher, and felt a small spark of hope flare like a match in the dark, promising more light ahead. Mia sat on the curb outside the bakery, scrolling her phone in shock as the video views climbed by the hundreds every single minute, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. Lila knelt beside her, grinning wide, saying the town had not seen a story travel this fast since a snowstorm closed school years ago, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. Comments filled the screen with bright hearts and kind words, praising Mia for honoring a veteran and scolding Mr. Clayton for forgetting respect, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. A group of teens on bicycles rode past, recognized Mia from the video, and offered fist bumps before pedaling off to share the link, and every passerby sensed a story worth telling. Inside the barbershop, Mr. Clayton tried answering ringing phones, but each caller demanded to know why he fired someone for kindness, and the moment taught that small acts travel far. He muttered excuses, yet his words sounded weak even to himself, sweat forming on his brow like rain on sunny glass, and no one wanted to miss the next chapter. The shop, once busy, now sat empty except for silent chairs and stray clippings, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. An angry caller canceled 6 family appointments, promising to return only when Mia got her job back, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. Mr. Clayton slammed the phone down, but it rang again before the receiver landed, sharp as a woodpecker on metal, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. Across Maple Street, the florist taped a sign reading, "Kindness first, we stand with Mia," and passers-by stopped for photos, sensing a story worth telling. In City Hall, Mayor Rodriguez's assistant saw the clip and rushed in with a phone held high, and the moment taught that small acts travel far. The mayor watched twice, ordered the city car, and said some visits must be face-to-face, because no one wanted to miss the next chapter. Back at the bakery, Mia finished her cinnamon roll and tried to smile, sugar on her lips, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. A radio host called Lila for a live interview, Mia's calm voice spreading across car speakers, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. Hearts floated up the screen like balloons, each pop a hug from strangers, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. Middle school students cheered and the video played on their projector, teacher wiping a happy tear, and every passerby sensed a story worth telling. Firefighters gathered around a phone, deciding to bring pies and thanks to Mia, and the moment taught that small acts travel far. The librarian pinned the story to a bulletin board titled, "Good News We Needed," because no one wanted to miss the next chapter. A delivery driver stopped just to shake Mia's hand, saying the world runs smoother when people care, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. Mia felt overwhelmed yet lighter, like a balloon freed from string, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. The bakery owner boxed rolls and wrote, "Stay strong" on the lid, placing them beside Mia, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. A police cruiser slowed. The officer gave Mia a thumbs up, promising extra patrols, and every passerby sensed a story worth telling. In the shop window, Mr. Clayton watched kindness bloom outside while his frown darkened inside, and the moment taught that small acts travel far. He lifted his cold coffee, seeing his worried face ripple, because no one wanted to miss the next chapter. The bell over the barbershop door stayed silent, business drifting away, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. Lila refreshed the video. Views topped 50,000, breaking street records, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. She read a request from a state newspaper wanting to share the story, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. Mia's aunt called to say TV crews were setting up by the fountain, and every passerby sensed a story worth telling. Each new ping felt like a drumbeat until Mia set her phone down to breathe bread-scented air, and the moment taught that small acts travel far. The sun climbed high, warmth on Mia's shoulders like encouragement, because no one wanted to miss the next chapter. Two teachers delivered crayon thank you cards from kids, giant glitter hearts shining, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. Mia promised to hang the cards on her fridge, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. An elderly couple offered her car seat to rest, but she stayed near the shop, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. The baker set out a stool, someone added a striped umbrella, and every passerby sensed a story worth telling. Reporters gathered with microphones, Van's antennas like steel flowers, and the moment taught that small acts travel far. Children waved signs saying hooray for free haircuts, turning the walk into a happy parade because no one wanted to miss the next chapter. The mayor's black car appeared, flags fluttering, murmurs rippling through the crowd, and it was proof that one choice could move a whole town. Mr. Clayton hovered in his doorway, unsure whether to hide or face the tide, and the air itself seemed to buzz with shared excitement. Mia stood, brushing crumbs away, nerves fluttering but resolve firm, and everyone who watched felt part of something good. The car door opened, Mayor Rodriguez stepped out with a warm smile, and the sidewalk held its breath, every passerby sensing a story worth telling. Mayor Rodriguez greeted Mia first, thanking her for showing what real community looks like and slipping a tiny gift bag into her hands with a gentle pat on the shoulder. And it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. Reporters crowded close, cameras flashing, while townsfolk formed a circle that felt more like a cheer squad than an audience, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. Then, with confident steps, the mayor crossed to the silent barbershop door, pushed it open, and invited Mr. Clayton to give her a quick trim so they could talk eye to eye, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. Mr. Clayton, pale and sweating, nodded stiffly and reached for his best scissors, wishing the morning could rewind like an old tape and play again without mistakes. It reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. As he combed the mayor's hair, she spoke about the town program that rewards businesses offering free services to veterans, and people nearby would repeat this part of the story for years. Each word landed like a slow drum, and Mr. Clayton realized he had tossed aside a benefit that would pay for many haircuts, and the moment fit perfectly into the town's growing legend. The mayor pulled a flyer from her purse, pointing to a bold headline reading tax credit for hero care, and it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. Mr. Clayton swallowed hard, seeing months of ignored mail swirl like dust he had chosen not to sweep, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. Outside, Mia waited beside Lila, unsure if she should smile or worry, fingers tapping the gift bag that jingled softly, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. Children holding signs edged nearer the glass, curious if grown-up consequences looked as big as grown-up mistakes felt. It reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. The mayor thanked Mr. Clayton for the neat cut, paid full price plus a tip, and signed a receipt boldly, and people nearby would repeat this part of the story for years. She shook his hand and invited him to join the coming Veteran Day by donating his chairs, and the moment fit perfectly into the town's growing legend. Before he could answer, she added that Mia would lead the volunteer barber team because courage cuts cleaner than any blade, and it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. Mr. Clayton's cheeks deepened red as he recalled firing her hours before, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. The mayor beckoned Mia inside, her smile wide enough to ease every doubtful thought, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. Mia stepped through the doorway like sunlight returning. It reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. The mayor announced that the city would sign a short contract with Mia to coordinate the free haircut festival, paying more than her last month's wage, and people nearby would repeat this part of the story for years. Reporters captured Mia's stunned joy. Lenses reflecting tears, she blinked away, and the moment fit perfectly into the town's growing legend. Mr. Clayton offered a quiet apology, admitting heart should lead the rulebook, and it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. Mia shook his hand because forgiveness feels lighter than anger, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. The mayor handed Mia the contract packet, tabs marking where to sign, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. Lila live-streamed. Comments exploded like digital confetti, It reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. The mayor suggested naming the event Harris Day of Honor, and people nearby would repeat this part of the story for years. From the street, Mr. Harris stepped forward, saluting through the window, and the moment fit perfectly into the town's growing legend. The mayor opened the door for him, bridging the gap with calm dignity, and it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. He praised Mia's gentle hands and Mr. Clayton's good scissors, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. Reporters wrote his words in bold, while the librarian readied a fresh bulletin, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. The mayor outlined plans for tents, band music, and free snacks. It reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. She promised extra fans so no one would faint in summer sun, and people nearby would repeat this part of the story for years. Firefighters offered shade canopies, and the moment fit perfectly into the town's growing legend. Mia pictured veterans sitting tall, capes fluttering like flags, and it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. She signed the contract with a steady hand, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. The mayor held the document high, declaring kindness official business, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. Volunteers lined up to add their names. It reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. The mayor's driver opened the car door for Mia, and people nearby would repeat this part of the story for years. Mia glanced back at the shop, feeling gentle farewell, and the moment fit perfectly into the town's growing legend. Mr. Clayton promised free Wednesday cuts for veterans, and it showed the crowd that even rough mornings can smooth out by sundown. The city car rolled off, hope settling over Maple Street like warm sun, and the lesson traveled fast, landing firmly in every watching heart. Lila jogged beside, streaming smiles and signs waving, and that truth felt bright enough to light windows all over town. Mia opened the gift bag, finding a golden scissors pin and a note reading "Sharp tools, softer heart. Thank you," and it reminded everyone how quickly one act can grow into many. Mia rode in the city car with Mayor Rodriguez toward the public square, watching shops blur by while she clutched the golden scissors pin like a lucky coin, and the thought settled like warm light over fresh paint. Colorful banners still hung between lampposts from last week's fair, and Mia imagined trading musical notes for fluttering barber capes. It reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. The driver parked near the fountain, its water dancing in afternoon sun, where a team of city workers waved clipboards like bright fans, and the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. Mayor Rodriguez introduced Mia as festival lead, and each worker gave high fives that calmed the butterflies in her stomach, while people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. A groundskeeper unrolled a big map of the square, tent spots numbered like puzzle pieces ready to snap together, and the moment proved small steps joined fast to build huge journeys. Mia picked the shadiest corner for senior veterans and the fountainside for photo booths, and that promise floated above them like a bright kite in clear sky. The mayor nodded, saying good planning is like a clean haircut line, simple and lasting, and the thought settled like warm light over fresh paint. A city electrician showed where cords would snake under mats, promising power for fans, clippers, and a small stage. It reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. Lila streamed the walkthrough live, letting viewers vote on music, chats filled with calls for marching tunes and soft jazz, and the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. The high school band practiced across the park, notes floating over pigeons that strutted like ushers, and people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. The bakery truck arrived, tooting twice, unveiling sample rolls to test snack booth flavors, and the moment proved small steps joined fast to build huge journeys. Mayor Rodriguez tasted a bun and joked that quality control was the hardest job, and that promise floated above them like a bright kite in clear sky. Mia suggested water mist fans. A firefighter on speaker agreed to lend hoses, and the thought settled like warm light over fresh paint. 2 middle school teachers arrived with art supplies for a kids' sign-making station, and it reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. The librarian wheeled a cart of paperbacks on local heroes for a reading corner, and the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. Mr. Harris walked up, silver hair shining, suggesting chairs face west so sun stayed behind veterans, and people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. Applause followed, and Mia drew umbrella icons on the map, and the moment proved small steps joined fast to build huge journeys. A gardener promised potted daisies for each tent, and that promise floated above them like a bright kite in clear sky. Mia's phone buzzed with new volunteers, soccer moms, college barbers, even a magician with balloon animals, and the thoughts settled like warm light over fresh paint. A band student handed Mia a rough welcome speech draft, and it reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. Mayor Rodriguez asked Mia to give opening remarks. Mia's knees wobbled, yet the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. She practiced lines quietly, counting syllables like snips of hair, and people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. Lila aimed her camera at the fountain, asking for hashtags. Hashtag Snip for Service topped the list, and the moment proved small steps joined fast to build huge journeys. A printer offered banner fabric. The librarian lent a projector, and that promise floated above them like a bright kite in clear sky. The electrician marked power poles with bright tape, and the thoughts settled like warm light over fresh paint. A skateboarder shouted his scout troop would set recycling bins. It reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. The mayor wrote the offer, her pen looping like new growth, and the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. Mia's stomach growled. The bakery driver handed out more rolls, and people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. Mr. Harris told boot camp haircut stories under desert sun, and the moment proved small steps joined fast to build huge journeys. He said tomorrow's cuts would feel lighter, like rain washing sand away, and that promise floated above them like a bright kite in clear sky. The state photographer snapped pictures for a preview story titled Town Trims Toward Unity, and the thoughts settled like warm light over fresh paint. Mia pinned the golden scissors to her pocket. Metal winked in sunlight, and it reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. The driver offered water bottles, cool drops tracing warm fingers, and the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. Lila announced the live stream passed 100,000 views, and people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. Mia felt the square pulse like a community heart, each volunteer a strong beat, and the moment proved small steps joined fast to build huge journeys. The electrician tested outlets, string lights blinked on in daylight, and that promise floated above them like a bright kite in clear sky. Mia closed her eyes, hearing splashing water, horn practice, distant cheers, and the thoughts settled like warm light over fresh paint. She opened them ready to finish details with steady hands, and it reminded everyone listening that teamwork is a simple kind of magic. Mayor Rodriguez clapped Mia's shoulder, saying the plan was sharper than any scissors, and the idea sparked smiles wider than storefronts on market day. Mia exhaled slowly, realizing the blank page of her day was now filled with bright ink of community, and people nearby could almost hear hope clicking into place like puzzle pieces. Early the next morning, the public square woke before the sun, lights from string bulbs painting soft circles on the brick, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. Food trucks rolled in with engines humming low, coffee scents drifting across dew-damp grass, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. Mia arrived first, golden scissors pin gleaming, breathing air that tasted like promise and cinnamon sugar, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. Mayor Rodriguez waved from the stage steps, clipboard packed with names, and the moment stitched people together like neat seams. High school band members tuned shining horns, notes bouncing off shop windows, and everyone nodded as if the map itself started to breathe easier, while that feeling shone brighter than any polished shoes. Mr. Harris planted a small flag beside the first chair, so each guest felt saluted, and its echo would hum inside hearts long after sunset. Lila perched on a stool with her phone tripod, launching a stream called Snip for Service Day, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. Families pushed strollers and wheelchairs side by side like chapters of one book, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. Bakers stacked sweet rolls, steam ghosts drifting upward, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. Scouts set recycling bins under signs that read Keep Maple Street Clean, and the moment stitched people together like neat seams. Firefighters raised shade canopies and mist fans that puffed cool water, and that feeling shone brighter than any polished shoes. Mia checked clipper cords, thanking the electrician's bright tape, and its echo would hum inside hearts long after sunset. College barbers snapped capes like superhero gear waiting for heroes, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. A magician twisted balloon barber poles for giggling kids, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. The librarian opened a reading corner titled Stories Trim Time, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. Teachers set up a poster table for giant thank you notes, and the moment stitched people together like neat seams. The florist placed daisies at each tent, petals bright as smiles, and that feeling shone brighter than any polished shoes. Mia read a text from Mr. Clayton closing the shop in honor, and its echo would hum inside hearts long after sunset. She smiled, pockets bridges need daylight walks, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. The mayor tapped the mic, welcoming all, voice smooth as a drumbeat, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. Mia followed, reading Dear Heroes, thank you for letting us serve you today. That single gesture felt like morning sun bursting through clouds, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. Applause rose like birds, and the moment stitched people together like neat seams. The band launched into bright marches, capes swirling like parade flags, and that feeling shone brighter than any polished shoes. Mia trimmed Mr. Harris first, silver strands falling like soft snow, and its echo would hum inside hearts long after sunset. Children swept clippings into playful piles, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. Veterans relaxed with eyes closed while families snapped photos, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. A mother whispered that kindness grows hair faster than time cuts it, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. Lila spun her camera, capturing smiles and high fives, and the moment stitched people together like neat seams. Bakers served until trays emptied, then passed apple slices, and that feeling shone brighter than any polished shoes. Students guided wheelchairs gently around cords, and its echo would hum inside hearts long after sunset. The magician handed Mr. Clayton balloon scissors with a bow. People called it the happiest buzz ever heard, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. Mia and Mr. Clayton shared a nod heavier than words, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. By noon, the square buzzed like a giant hive of goodwill, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. A photographer shouted "Smile Maple Street," and the moment stitched people together like neat seams. The mayor signed papers naming Harris Day of Honor. Volunteers joked the square could power a smile factory forever, and that feeling shone brighter than any polished shoes. A lone bugle played taps, quieting the crowd. The afternoon air fizzed like soda, sparkling with shared pride, and its echo would hum inside hearts long after sunset. Mia clicked her scissors closed, period on a perfect sentence, and the memory would stay bright even when banners came down. Volunteers folded chairs while laughter rang louder than horns, and everyone nearby could feel history tilting toward hope. String lights blinked on in daylight, tiny stars promising long afterglow, proving one small idea can fill an entire town square. As evening settled, Mia whispered that kindness, like hair, always grows back. Kindness keeps snipping away fear until only trust remains, a truth simple enough for any classroom lesson, and the moment stitched people together like neat seams.